Yeah, I'm just kind of waiting to see. I have this weird, no weird. I have this what I think is a pretty cool ethos, I guess you could call it, of like. And there's a really good movie about really good clip online about this. But like honestly, I believe this is true, and I think it's a really good way to help people get through tough situations. And
Right.
I know you like this kind of stuff because you like psychology and
Yeah.
you think very differently and you have like a unique way of viewing things. We've had some cool like discussions about this sort
Yeah.
of stuff, but like big picture thinking, and also, and I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. But like literally everything that happens in life to us is a maybe situation. I know this seems weird, but like literally every event, because we don't know the positive outcomes that can come from good fortune, or sorry, we don't know the bad outcomes that can come from good fortune, and we don't know the positive things that can come from misfortune. So
Right.
in the moment, an event can feel like, oh, this is like all negative, this is horrible, and like definitely that can feel that way for sure. But there are really good things that can come out of bad situations. Like, for
Right.
example, I was so upset when I couldn't open my business, my previous business I had. I was so upset when I couldn't open it in my hometown. I was like pissed off. We got funding from the banks and they took it away. We had the perfect location and then we lost it because the banks backed out after finding there was a competing business going to open in the city. They said, oh, well, they can only support one of these types of businesses. I was super mad. I was like contacting the bank, pissed off. And like it felt like a horrible situation at the time.
Right.
And it was like that for a few months. I was just like, this sucks. Like my dream of doing this, I worked like for a year to try and get the business plan and everything together. Turns out I had to move to another town in Canada, and I ended up meeting my current partner there. Like
Right.
literally met her like within, yeah, pretty much right when I got there, I met her. We were friends for a year, but whatever. So like what felt like at the time like the worst situation, I would not change at all because I don't think my business would have succeeded as well as it did in the other location.
Right.
And I met my partner, and there's a whole bunch of other things that came out of that, positive things. I actually found out about crypto because one of the guys that I hired to work for me in that new city happened to. I told this story on a podcast we did years ago, but basically a guy that I was working with or working for me. He bought one Bitcoin when it was at like 2,000 Canadian in early 2020, 2017 or something like that. And then his goal is to sell it at 20,000 Canadian to get a 10x, and he did that. But I was observing him, and he told me about this him buying Bitcoin, and I was just like watching the price moon at the end of 2017, and that's what got me like, whoa, what's going on here? Like your investment's mooning, you hit your target, like what happened? And that got so I found out about crypto. I might have found out about crypto another way, but the way it worked is I found out about crypto because this guy in this new town met my partner. The business ended up being successful in that town. So again, there's so many examples about. You could probably think of some too, where
Yeah.
there's been bad events that have happened, and then over the coming months and years, good things came out of that in like a weird roundabout way. And then sometimes there's been good things that have happened in life, and then there's been bad outcomes over time as well, based on different. Like we don't know. Literally, life is so complex and interwoven. We can't tell if anything's good or bad in that moment, even though things can feel absolutely horrible. And for sure, it can
Right.
feel in your short-term mindset, like this feels like only a negative event. But if over the course of time, again, we literally don't know what'll happen in good or bad from anything. So for people that have their money in the app, like for example, Bitfinex.